The views expressed on the following program do not necessarily represent those of this station or its management.
It's time now for Where You Live with Gene Sullivan, the show that deals with the news and events that affect you the most. Whether you rent or own, live in an HOA, single-family home, or an apartment building, Gene will tackle the issues right where you live. So, from the True North Painting Studios, here's the original man of steel, Resolve himself, who stands for truth, justice, and the association way. Here's Gene Sullivan.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. When you're looking for the right painting contractor, what do you look for? Isn't it someone who will respect you, your time, your property, and your budget? That's what you can expect from True North Painting. Find out more about this exceptional company by going online at truenorthpainting.com. That's trunorthpainting.com, or give them a call at 952-831-1433. I'm also brought to you by the great folks at Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. And, after about a 2-week hiatus here because of the holidays, I want to say hello to Christopher Wider Puberty. Chris, how are you?
Good, Gene. It's been a while.
Yes, it has. And have you had a great Christmas and New Year's?
I did, yeah. I got to go back to my hometown in Indiana for Christmas, so that was fun.
Okay.
New Year's with the in-laws and the wifey, so...
Good
time.
Yeah, my wife and I had a great time. We had a perfect time Christmas Eve with our daughter, her son, our daughter, her husband, my son, and his girlfriend. Okay. And then my wife and I went up to our cabin to meet some friends for New Year's Eve, and we're there for a few days. It was great. Really cold, but really great.
Yeah, I came back. I landed the day it was -2 that Sunday, and it was like 40s and 50s that whole week in Indy.
Yeah, well, now you can. It's nice when you get this little break now after having it being so cold, where you feel like there's some hope.
That's right.
But hey, I guess we're always looking forward to something coming up. We've got early February will be the Super Bowl. People will be looking forward to that. People will also be looking forward to the 2014 Winter Olympics.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Do you have a favorite event?
In general, basketball, of course. That's not the Winter Olympics, but pretty much anything with the snowboarding.
Anything with snowboarding.
The luge. That's
okay.
Cool.
The luge, yes. Yeah. Who doesn't like the luge?
Yeah, it just looks fun.
One of the things that I keep thinking about, when people get behind our athletes. You'll hear at the Olympics people chanting USA, USA. We're going to be talking about a story that's been on the news quite a bit over the last week or so. A guy who is a major organizer with the Occupy movement, who has what he considers 5 serious reforms that ought to take place here in the United States. But instead of that chant of USA, I kept thinking to myself, he's talking about ATM, and that's how he's looking at the United States as the one to be able to provide a lot of money, a lot of assistance to a lot of people. But you got to ask yourself, where's it going to come from? But so let's dig into that story, shall we, with our very first property management in the news. Property management in the news is brought to you by Home Furniture and Abbey Floor Coverings. Their showrooms are staffed with professionals who will help you choose what you need to fit both your lifestyle and budget. Whatever you need, chances are they'll have what you're looking for. Now, if you wish to avail yourself of special pricing you're not going to find anywhere else, all Where You Live listeners, call Customer Service Coordinator Lori Matson at 952-224-2663. So our first story is one that was written by, as I mentioned, a major organizer with the Occupy movement. He had a recent story in January in Rolling Stones magazine. His name is Jesse Meyerson, and he has what he calls 5 economic reforms millennials should be fighting for. Now, Chris, you're a millennial, right?
Correct.
Okay. As we go through this, I'd be interested in finding out if, as one millennial, I am not a millennial. I'm much older than that. But I'd be interested in seeing if these are reforms that you could get behind, okay, as a millennial.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Jesse Meyerson began his article, and what struck me first glance here was for a man who is a literary major, there is a very finite use of the English language. He refers to everything blows. The economy blows, landlords blow, and it's what I got more than anything else is that what we're looking at is a young man who I think is kind of angry and pessimistic, and a little bit self-centered, I would say. A young man who seems to be demanding a sense of entitlement. And maybe I'm off here, but I don't think so. What are some of these issues, some of these things that he is promoting? Well, the first item that he brings up as a major reform that he feels that people ought to get behind is guaranteed work for everyone. Now that's a great sentiment. I don't think there's anybody that would disagree with that. However, he goes on a little bit further and he says in his Rolling Stones article, he said, guaranteed work for everyone, but he's saying, but really only if you feel like it. He said the solution is for the government to guarantee that everyone who wants to contribute productively is able to earn a decent living in the private sector. So he's not even coming out saying that there should be guaranteed work. He said there should be guaranteed work only if you feel like it. And in the article here, he said, imagine a world where people could contribute the skills that inspire them. So if you are inspired by teaching, you teach. If you are inspired by farming, you farm. If you're inspired by the environment and cleaning it up, you clean up the environment. If you're inspired by painting murals, then that's what you do. So whatever inspires you, whatever you feel like, you should be able to do and be able to get a wage, and that should be guaranteed. And he said in the article, rather than, he said, the telemarketing or whatever other stupid tasks boss need done to supplement their millions. I thought, man, there's some major attitude right there. I think we're talking about a young man who unfortunately wasn't able to get the work that he was hoping for after he got out of college.
Sounds a little bitter.
Let me ask you now. I mean, would you say that you're in the job that you want to do for the rest of your life?
Absolutely.
You are?
Yeah, I like being the creative, technical guy. Absolutely.
Okay, but when you started, you didn't start out with the job that you have right here, right now, did you?
Correct. I started as an intern, worked my way up to what I got now.
Okay, and the same thing I think is true for so many young people, but I think there are a group that have forgotten that, and I think unfortunately have become pessimistic to a point in feeling like there is no hope. And that's what I feel the message is of Mr. Meyerson in his article in Rolling Stone magazine. Where is this sense of optimism that as a individual, you may not start out in the job that you wanted to do, but over time, you create it. You make it happen. You know, when I first went to college, I was a philosophy major. And after I realized there wasn't anybody that would hire me to open up a philosophy shop on the corner.
It didn't go well?
No, it didn't. Not too much calling for that. I went and got a degree in education, and I taught for a couple years, and I really enjoyed it. I thought I found something I liked. However, after that, I found myself unemployed because enrollment in public schools were down at that time so much. They were laying off teachers with 15, 17 years worth of experience. So now I'm finding different work that I had to do, and I had to go through a period of time, like I think a lot of young people did. At that point in my life, I was married, had 2 young kids, and so I did whatever I needed to get by. I was a newspaper boy. I worked at a warehouse. I was a night guard. I painted houses. There were a lot of things that I did. In fact, I probably had 2 or 3 jobs. And I remember feeling that for me, a sense of accomplishment would be to get to a point where I had one job that paid well enough that I knew that I would have arrived. And that was a goal. So instead of taking a look and being pessimistic, saying, you know what, things aren't out there, therefore, we need to have the government guarantee this for someone. I don't see how that can happen in reality. There's so much more I want to say about this, but I can see by the clock on the wall we need to take a break. Let's do that right now. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the 5 economic reforms millennials should be fighting for. The article by Jesse Meyerson in Rolling Stone magazine. Don't go away. More of Where You Live after these messages.